Society's family unit is in crisis as less and less people are making the commitment of a lifelong partnership together. It has been normalized, encouraged, and easier than ever to just throw in the towel when the going gets tough. With time at a premium, start by spending 20 minutes per week gaining thought-provoking inspiration towards a journey of self-improvement, ultimately improving your marriage, your family, your health, and your home.
We just got done with our series on the Four Horsemen from John Gottman. We're going to backtrack a little bit and go a little bit more back towards house stuff. And so we kind of talked about already
what it takes to sell your house.
Couple episodes back.
So we were getting our house ready to put on the market. And now we're going to go more into what happens when you list your house. Do most of you know what that entails? Because we didn't.
We listed it 3-4 weeks ago. I can't remember.
Something like that. And it feels like a long time ago. Already.
Yeah.
So much has happened. But it's like a flurry of activity for first-time sellers that aren't likely expecting some of the things that we went through. And we certainly didn't. We hadn't sold a home before. We bought one.
Yeah.
And we didn't realize the selling part and then transitioning to buying another house would entail quite so much work. And it's like a hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
If you've ever been through the airport, it's very similar to that process where you hurry up and wait. And there's this tension in between each flurry of activity because you are hoping everything goes okay. Is the appraisal good?
It's like you never know what could
and
I feel like it could be like pulled away from us at any second. It's a terrible feeling to have. It's a terrible way to live your life.
Well, it's a few months process. It's not just a quick, let's just sell the house, buy a new one by next month. It's a multi-month process for most people.
So we talked about what it takes to sell our home, which holy magic erasers, number one.
How about
we're pretty clean people. We really are.
I think we kept Costco in business.
We're pretty meticulous, pretty clean
supplies.
People. We won't go off on a tangent on that, but
we don't even have dogs or cats or anything.
Nothing will tell you how filthy you are until you decide to sell a home.
No kidding.
Magic erasers.
I'm surprised we didn't find bats.
Whatever.
Really, there was some serious spider webs and no, it wasn't that bad. Honestly, we took it a little over the top, but
it paid off.
And obviously, but I think nothing really goes according to plan, whether it comes to buying or selling your home. You may think it will, but we worked really hard. And today we're going to cover 5 things that happened once we listed our house and some extra tips and info that popped up along this journey. So it might help a few people out there.
Yeah. So after listing your home, things move really fast, at least in this market. Luckily, we have a good realtor. We actually have 2 realtors right now. Because a tag team, an amazing tag team. They complement each other so well. We'll get into more of that when we talk about the home that we bought in another episode. But having a good realtor will save you a ton of time and will actually save you money. Honestly,
some
we
people
think
don't want to pay the the fees and the commission that comes with it, but it's worth every penny.
It is. It really is. So selling your home, just so that you don't know, because we didn't, when you sell your home, that's when your realtor makes their money. So when we bought this home, our realtor probably didn't make a whole lot off of us, maybe a little bit, but it wasn't the 6% commission, that they made. So they begin that relationship that started 5 years ago. Okay. And nurture it for the next, however long it takes. And then when we decided to sell this home, boom, money. So, but it pays for itself because we trust her. We've developed this relationship over the last 5 years. and she tells us to sign something, we sign it,
Yeah,
basically.
and it may be different than when you buy and sell in a small town. And a long time ago it was probably different, but nowadays there's so much just red tape and
Mm-hmm.
so many details and things that you've got to know all the rules, what's code, what's this, what's that, what's likely to happen if you put this in there, or
Mm-hmm.
oh no, don't put that in there, do this, and
Mm-hmm.
different things that you don't think about. And why would you? You're not a realtor. You don't deal with this every single day, multiple times a day.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a really good team that helped us out, and they were even tag teaming while one was out of town a few times. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just really all the ins and outs and the recommendations that helped us maximize the sale of our house. And as you said, when we bought the new house,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
a lot of things that we didn't know, and some of this stuff you can't really look up very easily either. So why would you do this? Why would you do that?
Poor connection. It said poor connection. Yeah, so we're gonna get a little bit into obviously when our house went live. Like we said, things move really, really fast. And this is a hot market. So while we were completing things in preparation for our house going on the market, it was actually listed on the MLS service as pre-MLS for about 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
2-3 weeks. So basically what that means, because we had never heard of this pre-MLS thing either. Okay, we heard of MLS, but not pre-MLS. So what this means is that realtors and people who are actively looking for a home with a licensed agent had access to our listing.
Yeah.
So they could see all of the general information about the home, the features, the construction information, photos, which we just had exterior photos taken for the pre-MLS portion. We didn't have interior taken till a couple of days before it went live. And even documents that we could upload, such as the seller's disclosure, inspections that we had done before going live. We went ahead and did, what did we do? We did the wood destroying insect inspection. We paid for that. We paid for a sewer inspection. We paid, all these things, all these invoices and reports were uploaded.
We had some
that.
repairs and stuff done too.
Yeah.
That we had to have the paperwork and prove that we had done it.
Yeah.
Which it needed to be done anyway. I mean, we were already planning on doing it.
Yeah. So what was funny was I texted our realtor at one night and said, "Are we on pre-MLS?" Like, because she didn't tell us like, "Oh, you're going to be on pre-MLS this day." Yeah. But we started getting drive-by.
Well, not just that. We had people get out of their car, come up in our driveway, and sit there and take pictures of our house.
While we were here.
It was really weird.
On pre-MLS, people that the way that our house sits, they could walk over to the park and kind of see the back of our house without being on private property. And so people were doing that and everything, which is cool. It gets a lot of buzz. And we didn't even have a sign in the yard yet. Some of our neighbors didn't even know.
No, we surprised them.
So that gets a lot of buzz going, 3 weeks prior to your listing, especially in this type of market. When we bought this home, it was still a buyer's market 5 years ago. Honestly, it was right at the cusp of it switching 5 years ago, five and a half.
We thought it was hot back then.
Yeah. I mean, we lost 3 homes.
Yeah.
In bidding wars before we got this one. So anyway, so it's kind of a nice combination of buyers and sellers market because rates are so low. So it's really good to buy, but also homes are going so much above, value and things like that.
Inventory is just so low that they'll take just about anything as is too.
Exactly. So secondly, we knew obviously we knew and know that the housing market was hot. So especially for our style of home. So we live in a ranch, and it's a little bit older. Our house was built in 57 or 59. There's discrepancies. On that.
It's got a good combination of multiple things, really good deck and backyard, great entertaining space out there, but you've got the basement is fully finished and great entertainment space with a
We're one
finished
of the
bar,
only
but
homes on the block with a finished basement.
yeah. And but since everything's been updated for so long and taken care of
Mhm.
so well, um, it's really hot for first time home buyers
Mhm.
that are starting a family or getting their first house,
Which is what we were.
or it's just great, or it's just great for people that are downsizing and looking to get
Mhm.
into a little bit smaller home now that their kids are out of the house and they're
Mhm.
looking to stay in this house till they retire. And it's great not to add the stairs.
Yeah. So
So
because of that, we were obviously confident that we would receive multiple showing requests and
yeah,
offers
for sure.
as soon as it was active. So one tip, rather than trying to finagle, rounding up our kids and keeping the home picked up at, a moment's notice, we opted to have a little staycation for the weekend here in Kansas City. So we packed the kids up on a Friday afternoon. And funny enough, the first appointment was already pulling up as we were literally exiting the
30
driveway.
minutes early.
30 minutes early.
And also to add on to that, we did get a storage unit to store a lot of the stuff in our house because I didn't realize that we needed to put up fake towels all over the house, move anything personal and anything in most
That's why we have a
rooms.
good realtor.
We took everything out of most all of the rooms and put up a fake dartboard with fake, like our cheap darts.
Not
I guess
fake, it's real.
it's super,
but it's it's
just
not
like
our dartboard.
I was like, this just feels like we're going a little too far, but
it paid off.
I mean, I guess I'd like to see what would have happened regardless. I mean, we went into homes that were way more expensive than ours and they didn't pick up anything.
They didn't do anything.
There were pictures online of those blankets thrown on the couch. There's stuff all over the entire house they didn't clean up. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But some of those homes probably didn't sell
exactly
either. So
exactly that evening, multiple offers started coming in within even just a few hours of us being live. We technically went live at like 1:30 in the afternoon was our first available showing. So multiple offers within
had
the
a
first
cash
few
offer
hours.
too.
Yeah, exactly. So a total of 23 showings within 24 hours before we accepted something.
And what was interesting about that too was just honestly looking at the fact that we had 24 hours and in a hot market, which it's probably not as hot as some areas of like Texas and some other markets, but honestly, you're going to get your more serious people early on. And we knew that because later on we canceled showings because we felt like we already had the more serious offers. You may get some later, but honestly, people that are really looking at homes, especially at our level, they already knew that it was coming on pre-MLS and they were ready to get in here and look at it. They'd done their research. They knew what they wanted. So honestly, for us, that just made it easier to accept an offer, which is, sort of our number 3, tip or thing you need to know here is that we went through offers with our realtor. We went back and forth with the buyers. Well, we didn't, the realtor did, but honestly, it was really great to have somebody who could ask the questions about closing dates, appraisal waivers, or,
what's the worst they could say is no.
Well, yeah, I mean,
we asked some questions.
You ask for best and final, but usually they'll sign a waiver that if you don't appraise within, let's say 5,000 of the, of the sale of the house, then they're not going to pay, over 5,000 over the appraisal. So if they,
which is something that we'll go over in our next episode is some terms and tips and tricks that you could do to get your offer accepted.
so a little teaser for the next one on that. But by the morning of the next day, we already knew what we were going to do, and you looked up the people that were going to buy the house.
I stalked the people on Facebook, so if they find us, sorry, I totally stalked you.
Yeah, you're a creeper. It's okay.
And our buyers are the right buyers for this house. I'm
Yeah.
so happy and proud of the buyers that we have. They're
Yeah.
going to take care of this house the way that we have for the last 5 years. So
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And number 4, just to keep us moving.
Ooh.
Lots of signings. So we mentioned the electronic signatures before, where some of these documents you're not really reading, you're clicking the sign button
Because your realtor said sign
And
it.
yeah, I mean, you may give it a glance, but some of these things are so long, and that's what's great. They can read this stuff and you don't have to, and they have our trust. But there's so many amendments and addendums and add-ons, and oh, this wording wasn't quite right. Hold on, we got to go back and redo this.
But I feel like electronic signature is even more than it was when we bought this house.
Oh, I think so too. There's probably so much more that you have to sign on, exclusivity agreements. Just, I mean, there's just so much. I
don't
don't
remember
know how,
signing exclusivity when we bought this house. I'm like, yeah, of course you're a realtor. Like,
well, there were
why
things
do I have to sign this?
like to go back to get when we were preparing to sell our house. I don't remember doing some of that stuff. Like even looking at it or asking about it when we moved into this home. So that stuff wasn't done when we moved in. And it's a hotter market. But hey, you know what? It worked out. So hard work paid off. So that's all I'll say about
lots
that.
of paperwork. So, but just to keep in mind, even after we accepted that offer, within 24 hours of us going live, there's still a lot of steps that we had to complete before we officially went under contract. So contingencies such as inspections and appraisals, those are all opportunities that the buyers have to back out without consequence. So that's a really scary time. So one of the things that we didn't know is there's different options that are available on the what's called the in its present condition addendum. So our buyers selected box 2. Okay. Again, we'll go over that in the next one, but box 2 indicates that they're taking our home as is, but they will still be conducting inspections. So which one of the partners of our realtor said she, in all of 2021, had not done anything but box 2. So typically, no unacceptable conditions are made unless they're health or hazard related, such as bats in the attic, which is not our house at all. But
not anymore.
No, stop it. Oh my God, no. So box 2, from what we understand, is pretty standard in this type of hot market. When we bought this house 5 years ago, we elected box 1. Which was normal 5 years ago, which meant that we could do inspections and we could make requests for significant repairs, which
we did.
For
sure.
So essentially, our buyers elected box 2. Inspections in our home were completed within a few days. But I mean, I think some can take up to a 10-day period, to complete. So during inspections, you worked.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in the home because it's weird, because these people are buying your house, and I totally stalk them on Facebook. Surely they've stalked us as well. Because of the podcast and everything, our profiles are pretty public. But so it's you want them to feel like they live in your home, so you can't be home for inspections because the buyers come back and everything. And I feel like we're leaving a piece of our heart with them, and we can't even meet them. It's really sad. It's I want to meet you and I want to tell you all the things, and you know what I'm saying? So
are you glad some company didn't just come buy it up and they don't care?
110%.
They're not anywhere near here.
110%.
Or some buyers that don't care about the house. It's just it's a profit.
Yeah.
Potential investment for them.
So anyway, one tip, we took the kids to the mall while the inspector was here for a couple of hours. And a few days later, the appraiser came. We could be here for the appraiser because it was just him. It wasn't the buyers. He took measurements and assessed the value of our home. We helped him out. Here's a tip. We helped him out by providing a list of all the updates.
Big list.
And the costs associated with all the updates that we've put into the home in the last 5 years.
That depends on your appraiser. Some of them really look to try and get it up to the sale price. And they know, I mean, they do a lot of these. They're not looking to take a side or try to fight for anything, but they'll call a realtor and be like, is there anything else that can help get this up? Because right now maybe they're falling a little short of the sale price, and they don't want to do that. They don't want to be in the way. I mean, whereas inspectors, their job is to find anything and everything they can.
A loose outlet cover,
which is excessive. Yeah, done. Check that off. I think I can handle that one. That's thank you. Thanks for telling me.
So anyways, everything came back great. We've even had a few good surprises along the way, which is refreshing because I felt like when we bought this home, it was nothing but trouble. Our realtor earns her money. That's for dang sure. Yeah. She fought
pretty hard for some things.
When we bought this home, oh my goodness. Yeah. But
learned a lot along the way.
Selling this home, buying our new one, there has been a lot of good surprises along the way. For example, after closing, our buyers are actually letting us stay in our home until we're able to move into our new home, which we've already bought. So this is what's called a rent back. So we might go through that a little bit later after we get into our new house. Additionally, they're also buying some of our furniture. So the things that you see back here are not coming with us to our new home. But that's good because it's a lot of heavy stuff that's staying. But it's also a good nod to our taste in decor that they've bought so much of. So,
Yep.
So next episode, stay tuned. Because up next it was our turn to shop, which was a little nerve-wracking, but spoiler alert, it all worked out.
Sure did.
This week's call to order: make a plan for potentially selling your home. If you were to take another job and have to make a sudden move, would you be ready? Like the home that we're buying right now. What if you were to put your home on the market and it doesn't sell as quickly as you would have hoped? We've seen that as well. There's been a couple of homes that we actually looked at that have been on the market a couple of weeks, and we're like, we know why. Are you willing to put more money in for repairs or come down on your price? We were pretty set in what we would and would not do because this selling our home was not a must. Do your research on the housing market. Understand the language and how transactions are running now versus when you may have bought your home. Even just within 5 years, things have dramatically changed. So is it a seller's market or a buyer's market? Have a plan in mind and know where you're willing to compromise and stand your ground if needed. If you're ready for your marriage and family dynamic to thrive and not just survive, all it takes is 20 minutes or less joining us each week. It begins with a journey of self-improvement while you sit in the carpool lane, commute to work, squeeze in a workout, or get halfway through folding that laundry pile. Be sure to check out the blog at thefamilyorder.com and follow us on social media at The Family Order. If you're ready to start your journey, be sure to click subscribe so you don't miss new episodes every Monday.